On this week's Silver Screen Report, we're taking a look at the STEM Students Research Project, introducing you to the new Teacher of the Year, and reviewing school policies and procedures with Administrator Christian English.
Good afternoon, Dutch Fork. Today is Friday, February 16th, and your Silver Screen Report starts now.
Last Friday, STEM students filled the Media Center to present and observe their research projects. Max Franks takes a look.
STEM students develop an understanding of research early by doing a project of their choosing.
I let my freshmen in November pick any topic they wanted to research, anything in the world that they cared about, something they were passionate about.
It's for students to find an issue that they're passionate about and learn something and get some research skills.
Throughout these presentations, students learn critical skills like public speaking and finding reliable sources.
The skill of standing up and talking about something you know and love is something that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives.
We thought it'd be a real good idea for them to be able to see, how research works, what's going to be entailed, and to get some ideas for what they may want to do research on in the future.
They learned how to find reliable sources, so that helps with fake news and trusting your source, and helps understand politics. I think it helps understand how the world works.
It's important that she learn about something and find out how to research a topic and present her findings in a nice, coherent way.
It teaches STEM students kind of what it's like to be in college, because you have to do your own research and you have to do this all on your own, and you have to find a way to make it presentable. Students
say that they hope STEM will better prepare them for college and life.
I really felt like it would be beneficial to be in an environment with STEM students other than me that can help me and encourage me to do better.
I think it's going to help them not just in college but in life as they learn to find what they're interested in and start working towards how am I going to apply that to my life.
This has been Max Franks with your Silver Screen Report.
You may have noticed new student teachers in your classroom in the past few weeks. Andia Wright has the scoop on why they're there.
Studying at the University of South Carolina, practicum students have been helping out here at Dutch Fork High School to advance themselves in their teaching career.
I had a lot of influential teachers growing up through middle and high school, and I just kind of want to give back to students.
I saw my teachers in high school struggle to make history interesting for the majority of my classmates, and so I wanted to give back and teach.
I've just had some really fantastic educators in my past, and they really encouraged me and they pushed me to do really well, and I decided that I want to be that for other students.
The students find that there are things they want to do and things they want to avoid in the classroom.
I definitely want to be relatable to them and hopefully spark their interest in something they might not be interested in because I want to teach history.
I definitely want to avoid exclusion, because I am very much a people person, I am a very compassionate person, and I don't ever want a student to feel like they can't answer a question in my classroom. I don't want them to feel like they can't come to talk to me about personal problems, because I'm not just a teacher, I'm another person, and I've probably been through what you're going through.
I don't really want to be boring and drown on with a subject matter that most people don't find interesting.
Not everyone in the program went into college knowing they wanted to be a teacher.
I originally wanted to be a business operations manager, but I really fell in love with teaching and how personal it can be.
I wanted to be a pediatrician for a really long time, but realized that my stomach was not into that field, and so I was really good at history and enjoyed it, and so I decided to go to school to be a history teacher.
I went in as a computer programming major. My very first day at community college, I walked into my very first computer class and I sat down in front of this big computer screen for 2 hours. And after that, I ran to the office and I said, you need to change my major because I can't sit behind a screen for the rest of my life. You don't have to have it all together as quickly as you think you do, because it might hit you 5 years into your career that what you really want to do is something different, and that's 100% okay.
This has been India Wright with your Silver Screen Report.
Each year, every school in District 5 nominates and selects a Teacher of the Year. Solomon Dix introduces us to this year's winner.
Based on staff nominations, Allie Hendrick won Teacher of the Year last week.
Winning Teacher of the Year was definitely a big surprise. There are so many fabulous teachers at Dutch Fork. It was an honor for me to just be nominated to be Teacher of the Year. I didn't actually ever really think I was going to win, so I was quite surprised. Has it changed my life? No, but it was a nice day.
Hendrick was one of the 31 teachers nominated.
Dutch Fork has the best teachers around. I think everybody knows that. I certainly do. There's so many great professionals in this building, and just having opportunities to collaborate with them, to build lessons with them, to talk about kids and how they're doing and the best ways to help them is invaluable.
There were a lot of great nominees, and I think a common thread among the people who were nominated was that they care a lot about students. But I think probably one of the things that does set her apart is her energy and her intelligence, and how well she works with not just students but also the rest of the faculty and staff.
Colleagues and students agree that Hendrick cares deeply about her job and that she is well suited for Teacher of the Year.
She 100% deserves Teacher of the Year because, like I said, she genuinely cares about each kid and whether or not they really understand the content. She cares about them on an emotional level as well as an academic level, and she just really wants everyone to succeed, and that's something that I admire so much about her.
Her energy knows no bounds. I am constantly baffled at her willingness to be like, no, now I'm going to try this and I'm going to do this new thing, even when it seems like what she's already got going works pretty well.
This has been Solomon Dix with your Silver Screen Report.
Finding a place to relax and study without distraction can be difficult for some students, but West Columbia's Catitude Cafe offers both a place to get work done and unwind with cats. Here's Katie Rojas with more.
Coffee, cats, Wi-Fi, and workspaces are just a few things the Catitude Cat Cafe offers to students who are looking for a place to study and get coffee.
We actually built this place for students in mind because it wasn't that long ago that I was a student myself. So you should definitely come and hang out here just to study at least.
We have a really good environment. Not a lot of people know about this study spot, so you kind of get the element of exclusivity. You don't have to deal with trying to study at a Starbucks or at the library where everything's really crowded. We also have Wi-Fi and it's high-speed internet, so I highly recommend it.
Me and a group of friends went and just went there. We got some coffee. We just sat around. We pet a bunch of cats. One of them was named Donald Trump. We all had a good laugh about that one.
By letting customers spend time with over 26 adoptable cats, the cafe is able to help many cats find their homes.
We've had a couple cats that just have not been doing really well in the shelter environment, and we bring them here and it's like they're a completely different cat.
See, cats get adopted. I love it when they finally find their forever homes and the owners come in and they're super excited and happy and bubbly. It's a good feeling knowing that we help them find a home, because all these cats are shelter cats.
I'd recommend it to like cat people. I think they'd have a lot of fun there, especially like people like Kylie that have cats like Ollie and just have a good time.
The Cat Cafe has taken off since opening day. It is a great way to relieve stress with the special addition of lovable cats surrounding you.
I recommend that if you want to get all the cats yourselves, come like Monday through Friday, Monday to Thursday.
Animals and playing with cats, it actually helps with a lot of mental health issues. If you're ever really stressed or if you're ever just not feeling yourself, if you come here and play with cats for like about an hour, you'll definitely feel a lot better.
If you would like to visit the Catitude Cat Cafe, it is located in West Columbia on State Street, relatively close to downtown. This has been Katie Rojas with your Silver Screen Report.
At this time of the year, it's easy to forget routine policies and procedures. Maddie McCormick sat down with Administrator Christian English to review some of the policies.
Dutch Fork High School is a closed campus. That means when you arrive, you cannot leave the school without permission. Going off campus during the school day will result in a 3-hour detention and potentially more if you are a repeat offender. Whenever you are on campus, you always need to wear an ID. If you forget your ID, you must request a temporary one from your first block teacher. If you didn't receive your temporary ID by the end of first block, be sure to stop by the book room before second block to request a new one. If you are returning from the Cates Center or Irma High School, get a temporary ID as soon as you enter campus. The cafeteria will only serve students who are wearing an ID. In addition to reinforcing the ID policy, administrators would like to remind students about the dress code policy. Administration asks students to be mindful of what they are wearing and to remember that school is a professional environment. One change you may have noticed this week is that effective as of Monday, fourth lunch has been removed. The other lunch times will remain the same, but fourth lunch students will now go to third lunch and have Fox Focus during the old fourth lunch time. Here's Assistant Principal Christian English with more on the lunch change.
That is the ultimate goal, is to get to something next year where our bell schedule allows that time in the middle of the day. We have more students than any other high school in the district, so that's just the trick. Is how do we look at what other people are doing but make it ours? How do we give students the opportunity to study, to rest, to meet with clubs during the day, but also ensure that everybody's getting fed, everybody's safe, and everybody's having their educational needs met.
If you have questions about any of these policies, talk to your 3A teacher or an administrator. This has been Maddie McCormick with your Silver Screen Report.
For this week's Kids in the Hall, we asked students about which school policies need better enforcement.
IDs, I think, should be really pretty much be enforced, because I'm seeing probably a lot of students that are not wearing IDs, not showing IDs. Either they are wearing the ID, but they're just hiding it, like either in their pocket, sweat jacket, or something.
People shouldn't be cutting class, and they should stay on task and stay with their schoolwork.
Some school policies that could be better enforced would be kids roaming around in the halls without a pass and without like having an ID on, because there's a lot of kids that just want to walk around and not be in class or try skipping class.
Probably like arriving to school on time, like arriving to your first block class on time for the people like who drive to school.
The SAT word of the week is punctilious, an adjective meaning eager to follow rules or conventions.
Last Friday, Dutch Fork hosted a pep rally to fire up the boys and girls basketball teams for their games later that evening. Here's Mia Perry with the recap.
Last week's pep rally fuels good, nervous energy within each Dutch Fork basketball player as they prepare for their upcoming playoff games.
It's a good, nervous energy. Being an athlete myself, you know, you always have that down in the bottom of your stomach, so you know you want to perform well. And I think it helped them to perform well when they know that their student body is behind them, as well as their teachers and their community.
Showing that your school is behind you, so that gives you more of a reason to play harder and not take anything for granted.
I think the pep rally again is for the whole student body. I think it gets people excited about what's going on in the school. It acknowledges the players and the cheerleaders and the dazzlers, and so it's more for the students than anybody else. It gets them excited about the game.
The Irmo Dutch Fork rivalry promotes good community and competition between both high schools as the players strive for bragging rights for the next year.
For the game is the Irmo, you know, like I said, like it's guys that we know, for several years. So, you know, we try to show them, who's the best.
It's community. So with Irmo being in Lexington and Richland 5, and Dutch Fork also in Lexington and Richland 5 is the ones who's going to have the bragging rights for the next year.
I think it's a very healthy rivalry right now as far as the basketball teams. You know, there was a lot of people helping each other off the floor and talking to each other, but really competing at a high level.
Maybe we'll do a hard foul and they'll do a hard foul. But other than that, it's at the end of the game, we're still friends, but on the court, we're enemies.
Despite starting off the season slow at first, both the boys and girls basketball teams say they feel confident and prepared to secure their spot in the finals.
It's going well at the beginning, because at the end you want them to pick up, and that's what we see them doing, that it's coming together.
You know, we had a couple ups and downs, but, we're very young. And we're trying to rebuild on that.
We had little hiccups in the way, but other than that, we're pretty confident going to the playoffs.
Unfortunately, the girls lost their first playoff game this past Tuesday, 63-73 against Fort Dorchester, and the boys basketball team also lost their first playoff game this past Wednesday against Somerville, 72-54. This has been Mia Perry with your Silver Screen Report.
For some announcements. Have you ordered your yearbook yet? Next Friday is the deadline. Go to jostensyearbook.com to place your order. The chorus will present its spring concert March 13th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Admission is free. Choral auditions will be held February 27th from 6 until 6:30 p.m. See choral teacher Amanda Rush in room 403 for more information. The Beta Club will sponsor a campus cleanup from 4 to 5 p.m. next Wednesday. Meet in the front office at 4. Now here's Todd with more.
Thanks, Bailey. Random Acts of Kindness Day is today. Do something kind for someone. We won't have a show next week, but in light of recent events, we would like to devote our March 2nd show to promoting a positive school culture at Dutch Fork. If you have ideas about topics you'd like us to cover, please see a Silver Screen staff member or advisor Amy Medlock Green in room 252. In the meantime, our thoughts are with the students, teachers, coaches, and staff of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.